My brother recently got engaged. Although I'm close to him, I don't know his fiancée very well since I live in another state. I've probably met her about 10 times, give or take, and each time has been fine, cordial and friendly, but I'm not calling her just to chit-chat. I was happy to receive an invitation to their engagement party. After accepting, I received a package in the mail from my sister-in-law. It was an outfit, sweater, jeans, shoes, and jacket from a fast fashion brand that looked pretty cobbled together. She left the price tags on them, which were all discounted. I texted her asking her what the package was for, and she told me it was for me to wear to the party so I wouldn't upstage her. I asked her if the other attendees received outfits, and she said no. I then asked her if I ever made her feel uncomfortable, because why else would she do this? And she said no, but just wanted to make sure that I didn't look better than her. The whole thing didn't sit right with me, and I told her that I wasn't comfortable being the only person wearing this random outfit. It didn't even fit me well, and I asked if I could maybe send her a photo of my outfit first for approval, or buy something myself that she liked. It was all no, no, no. So the day of, I decided to just go with a similar outfit that she picked. But in my clothing, i.e. she sent me a blue sweater, so I wore a similar colored sweater but from my own collection. I ensured that I had no visible logos, and I didn't bring one of my designer bags, opting for a simpler tote. When she saw me, she was livid, to the point that she took me to the kitchen to ream me out. I told her she was being unreasonable, but she told me that because she's the bride, nothing could ever be unreasonable because it was her special day, and her way or the highway. So I decided to leave because I clearly wasn't welcome and she couldn't be reasoned with. But on my way out, she threw her iced coffee at me, ruining my sweater. I had originally promised my brother a $15,000 check as a wedding gift, but now told him that unless his fiancée apologized and paid for a new sweater, $100, then I wouldn't be attending their wedding, nor giving them the check. They're currently fighting. Some family members were on my side, while others called me an idiot for not just wearing the random outfit to make the bride happy. It's turning into a huge thing. So I'm wondering if I'm the idiot for the whole thing. I know I could have set out the event, but I wanted to be there for my brother. Am I the idiot? Honestly, I wouldn't even take the apology. If she does apologize, I wouldn't trust it for a minute. She would just be doing it for your money. $15,000. You sound incredibly generous and kind. His soon-to-be wife sounds like a nightmare. I'd just say to your brother that clearly you're not welcome by how you were treated. You won't be attending, and there'll be no gift. End of story. I couldn't agree more. She singled you out and treated you appallingly. Sending you that crappy outfit, and only you, was disgusting. Throwing coffee at you was also disgusting. Tell your brother you can't go to the wedding. Don't give them a gift. She deserves nothing. The soon-to-be wife's actions would be a major red flag if I was your brother. Who the heck does that kind of thing? And this is only the engagement party? Imagine what she'll be like on the wedding day. This, and a $100 sweater, isn't even super high-end. Sure, it's not a $5 sweater from Walmart, but it's not like OP went out of her way to put together a super expensive outfit to outshine the bride. Seriously, when did the world get this utterly insane? Dictating people's outfits? Throwing drinks at them? Oh, heck no. There's no coming back from that. That's their true colors right there, and they're bone-deep ugly. You do realize an apology at this point is not going to be genuine, and it's only going to be a money grab. $15K is enough for most to swallow their pride and fake it for one brief moment. You're not going to get the money for the sweater, but a $100 loss is so much better than a $15,000 loss. She's not just a bridezilla, she's a jealous, unhinged idiot. Please save the $15K for your brother's next wedding. I, 22 female, have a baby son called Rue with my boyfriend Sean, 23. I'm North African and Sean is Asian. Our son happens to look like a carbon copy of him. We joke that my genes weren't used at all in our baby's creation, so I'm aware that he doesn't look like he's mine. I was picking up a few things at the grocery store when this woman came up and started a conversation with me. She asked about Rue, his age, his name, and things like that. Then she asked how long I'd been nannying for his parents. I assumed she initially thought that because I'm kinda young, and I know most people don't have kids as early as I did, so I told her that I was his mother. She sort of frowned and looked between my baby and me before saying, "But he's Asian." She said the word Asian in a really weird tone, like she didn't like saying it. The mature thing probably would have been to tell her that he's Asian because his dad is Asian, and biracial people do, in fact, exist. But instead, I just gasped dramatically and went, "Oh my God, are you serious?" I picked Rue up and held him at eye level while asking how he could pull the long con on me and hide his true identity for so long. He giggled, which made me laugh, and the lady looked bright red and very annoyed because people were looking at us. She told me that she was just surprised because he doesn't look anything like me, and I replied that I was surprised too, obviously, because today was the first day I ever took in any of his ethnic features. She then said that I could have just answered the question she was asking instead of making a public scene. She walked off, still angry, but I just finished getting what we needed and left. I was telling my mom about it because she called when I got back to the house, and she also thinks I should have just informed the woman that my son's father is Asian instead of acting like a fool in the middle of the produce section. Maybe it was a bit of a jerk move to do it the way I did. But I mean, if I tell you the kid is mine and you think the kid doesn't look like me, wouldn't the next best conclusion be that they look like their other parent? I just want outside opinions on if I was being an idiot about this. Not the idiot. You handled this brilliantly, and Rue's giggle was the cherry on top. I bet that woman thinks twice before asking intrusive personal questions again. When my nephew was born, he had some issues with his spine that resulted in him wearing a brace from the top of his head to his hips for a couple of years. Lots of people would ask, why? When my sister-in-law was just not in the mood to deal with nosy people, she'd look them in the eye and say, deadpan, "Well, we won't let his dad change his diapers anymore." And then she'd walk off. So not every question asked has to be answered. She set the tone, my friend. You just followed her lead. You had already told her that you were Rue's mother, and she still looked at you, opened her mouth, and let absolute nonsense come out. So it only stands to reason that you'd respond in kind. I'm old enough to be your mom, and I have to tell you, as an auntie of 5 kids, literally none of whom look like their mother, and most of them look very little like each other, my sister just looks at the lovely little rainbow of humans that all came out of her body and shakes her head and laughs. I think you were hilarious, but more importantly, I think you reminded her of something crucial. We don't comment on other people's bodies, or their ethnicities, or their perceived parentage. It's rude, it's inappropriate, and it could hurt someone. I teach people that our curiosity does not entitle us to personal information about strangers. That woman started off friendly, but she overstepped, and she deserved to be embarrassed for it. Good for you for reminding her that making comments about people is not harmless. It has repercussions. You are not the idiot. But more than that, you're smart and funny, and you think on your feet. You're wonderful. I, 27, have been with my girlfriend, 25, for 3 years. She's absolutely wonderful in every aspect, aside from when it comes to getting her gifts. She always snoops until she finds out what I or her friends and family got for her. It's very frustrating because I put a lot of thought into her gifts, and I'm always excited to see her reaction. But I can tell she's just pretending to be surprised. This year, I made her promise not to go snooping for her gift, or else I would get her something small. She promised, and I went all out. She's very into makeup, but has it all on a small coffee table with a hand mirror. I wanted to get her a bigger space to work, so I found a pretty pricey vanity with a mirror built into it. It wasn't breaking the bank, but it was definitely more than anything I'd ever gotten for her before. I ordered it a few weeks ago. Last week, I caught her listing the table for sale and asked her what that was about. She said that she wouldn't need it for much longer, and I immediately knew she was snooping. I was so angry I canceled her gift. It was supposed to arrive yesterday. I suppose she saw that when she was snooping too, because when no package came, She asked me about it. I told her what I had done. She blew up, called me selfish, and told me to get out of my house. She's never acted like this before, and I was very taken aback. She said she's just curious by nature, and she has anxiety about what gifts she's getting and needs to know. She does have problems with anxiety, so I understand where she's coming from. Did I overreact? Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. You warned her, but she chose to press forward, play stupid games and win stupid prizes, or in this case, lose the prize entirely. She needs to grow up. However, this is bugging me. Change all your passwords in your phone code. Have your phone checked for tracking bugs. Same for your computer. I'm suddenly thinking this could be more serious than snooping presents alone. What else is she snooping into and can't keep herself out of? I have a feeling this goes way beyond snooping, only at every gift-giving occasion. Hopefully I'm wrong, but if not, yeah, I'd take the advice above and protect yourself. Dude, she's apparently looking into your phone, emails, etc. Break up with her. This is the real problem. Also, sounds like she's an absolute child by yelling at you to get out of your own home over this. She doesn't deserve the something small, except for maybe the empty space now left by her own decisions. I am a 35-year-old male, and my sister is 30. My kids are a pre-tween and 2 years younger, and hers are a tween and younger child. This year we hosted Christmas dinner. I adore my sister, and I adore my niece and nephew. They're good kids. We spend a lot of time together, and our kids love playing together. However, her kids have this habit of digging into the food that's being served without it being on their plates. For example, once when we visited, my sister made mashed potatoes, and both kids dipped their fingers in the pot, licked them, dipped them again, etc. My kids never did this in their life. I don't have a problem with that. Her house, her rules. My wife and kids hate it though. So we were settling down at dinner, and almost all the guests had arrived. We had some light drinks, and my wife and I brought out the first course, which consisted of multiple things like cheese, grapes, ham, steamed veggies, meatballs, etc. on big platters, so our guests could serve themselves with whatever they liked. As per usual, kids started going around the table to pick stuff from the platters. We laughed and cheered as they played around, until I noticed that my niece and nephew grabbed something, took a bite, and put it back. My wife noticed it, so she went discreetly around to get the stuff they bit out of. I pulled my sister aside and told her to please tell her kids to stop doing that. In comes the next meal, which was a light soup with sour cream. My niece and nephew grabbed the ladle and licked it when my wife put the serving bowl down. We laughed nervously, and my wife replaced the bowl in soup. Again, I told my sister to speak to her kids about it. Before the main course was served, my wife and I decided to just plate everything ourselves for each guest, which was a lot of work, but worth it. Again, niece and nephew immediately got up and started dipping their fingers in random plates. At this point, my wife got a bit angry and told them aloud to wait patiently for their plates. Sister got irked. Guests started to get uncomfortable. Sis said, "They're just kids." After an hour or so, we got out some chocolate cake. My niece and nephew literally put their hands in it before my wife got a chance to cut it. I saw her eyes start to get watery out of frustration, and she blew up and yelled at my sister for not disciplining her kids and making everyone uncomfortable. My sister and brother-in-law got up and left. Several guests said that they found this gross, but Mom and Dad said I could have spoken to my sister privately. Now I feel like an idiot. Not the idiot. You went to their mom privately multiple times, and nothing was done. It was upsetting your guest and your wife, and these kids are definitely old enough to restrain themselves around company, especially if they are at someone else's house. These kids are old enough to know not to do that. Those kids are doing it on purpose. Touching every individual plated dish is not a lack of impulse control or manners. It's a deliberate act because they know it's gross, and they want to make everyone feel gross. Like, oh, look what we got away with. It's nasty, and your sister needs a serious wake-up call. Agree, and sister is a terrible parent, doing a lousy job of socializing her kids. It's cold and flu season. We're all barely a year or two removed from a worldwide health emergency, and sister lets the kids finger and lick the food being served? Jeebus. Parents are off base in the hope of not rocking the boat, at best, and shameless enablers at worst. Can't imagine a private conversation going anywhere. Good riddance to both. Consider this when inviting folks to future gatherings. I, 32 female, have a serious health issue from a snowboarding injury. I need surgery for it, but due to the healthcare system, I've been waiting for years and it's been getting worse. One of my best friends was supposed to be married in 2020, but due to the global issue, she had to push it back to 2022. So at that point, I could still walk, and she wanted to have it at a national park. The walk is about 2 kilometers uphill to a waterfall and lake. The walk has roots, so I can't ride a wheelchair there. So it's been over 2 years, and I told her a few months ago I probably can't make the walk. So we brainstormed some other solutions, but in the end, it doesn't look like there's an easy way for me to attend. There was a guy friend coming that could help carry me, but he moved countries and decided not to. She apologized but said it was her dream to get married at that waterfall, and I said I understood, but was definitely not happy about it since we've been friends for years and I expected to attend. I did say to a mutual friend I wasn't happy with her choice of wedding venue, and I wish she valued me enough to change it so I could go. I know when she made the plans, I confirmed I could go, but I think she should be able to change plans since time has passed. That friend I was offloaded to the bridesmaid, and people took sides. Some contacted the bride and told her to change the venue because they felt like I should be allowed to attend, and others said it was planned for and I shouldn't expect it to change for me. I didn't realize how bad it got until the bride came back and accused me of trying to ruin her wedding. I said I just told a friend what I thought, and I didn't go any further. And she called me selfish and told me it was her wedding, and the global issue wasn't her fault, so she couldn't control that in the time I'd gotten worse. I told her she couldn't, but if she had any compassion for me, she'd change it to somewhere I could go to. And she hung up on me. She then canceled the wedding completely, but I heard she eloped and married her fiancé with only half the bridesmaids and her parents present. The ones who defended me and argued with her said she cut them out of the wedding and has stopped talking to them. I feel really bad now because I didn't actually want to go to the wedding badly enough to lose her as a friend, but I didn't think she would cut us all off as a result. I don't know if I should contact her or what to say, or if I'm even in the wrong in this. You are the idiot. You didn't want to go badly enough to lose her as a friend, but just enough for her to change her dream venue for you? It was her wedding. Instead of gossiping, you should have been sending a congratulatory card with some cash. You and everyone else who didn't pick the bride's side are all idiots. It is her wedding, and it has nothing to do with you, so you don't get to ask her or guilt trip her to make changes because of an unfortunate situation you've had to endure. I understand venting to a friend and them sharing your views with the bride was not your fault. However, when she called you, trying to tell her she needed to have compassion for you is what pushed it over the line, I believe. I would have checked to see if I could attend via Zoom. If not, I would invite them for a celebratory dinner or something on a different date. Ask to see pictures, videos, etc. I would try my best to be there for them for their wedding. If it has to do with issues on my end, I should take the burden, not them. Never in my wildest dreams would I even try to dictate where someone else has their wedding.